Welcome to the Monty Show, exclusive on the Auto Network. I am your host, Monty Montoya, El Silverado from San Antonio, Texas. And this is where we interview independent artists, musicians, and entertainers from all over San Antonio, Texas, and abroad. Today we have two special guests, Mr. Charles Jones and Mr. Carlos Sandoval, musicians from San Antonio. But before we get to them, we're going to take a short break and we'll be right back.
We all start somewhere. Some of us start with pain. We fall early, we lose early, but getting back up, that's everything. We choose hard roads and walk them anyway. We carry the weight, the silence, the scars no one sees. Coming home ain't always victory. Sometimes it's just survival, but we don't stop. We evolve, we build. Because when you've lived the fight, you fight for others. Battle tested, always ready. Robles Jr. Law.
Dogwood Home Health Care LLC, we give you peace of mind toward your loved one's home care needs. With many years of experience and a dedicated team, you can rest assured your loved ones is receiving the best possible care at home. Some of our services consist of bathing, exercising, dressing, grooming, cleaning, laundry, walking, shopping, assisted with medication, and much, much more. For more information regarding our services, go by our website at www.dogwoodhomehealth.com or call us directly at 956-580-3957 or 210-265-8911.
Welcome back to the Monty Show. Like I said, I have two special guests here, Mr. Charles Jones and Carlos Sandoval. And to start off the show, I want to thank you guys for coming to my show.
Oh, thank you.
You know, and how was your Father's Day? If you guys are fathers?
Oh yeah, I went out to a club with my wife and listened to some good music and had some good food and just got full bellied. And
that sounds good to me. So let me start by saying also, what got you guys started in the music business, Mr. Charles?
My first thing was when I was in high school. I got into James Brown. And I thought I was a hot guitar player back in the day, and so I boarded a bus going down to Augusta. Then as soon as I got on the bus, I turned around and got scared and went home. But you know, that was it when I first got interested in music. But you know, later on, I decided I'm going to go ahead and try to get pretty good at it. So what I did was I took a few lessons by my family, because back in them days there weren't no music schools that we could go to.
Right.
But I had some of my people, my family, that kind of got me inspired. My father bought me my first guitar, and it was an old wooden box guitar. You know, couldn't tune it, but just I thought I could. Right. So anyway, after that I went to high school, and they had this guy that really played really well in my class, and I was really struck by what he could do with a guitar, and I bought me another electric guitar and a little small amp, you know, and I said I'm good and bad.
But then you used to play guitar, right? And then you switched to bass guitar?
That was later on, you know, because many years after that was just like everybody was playing guitar and couldn't make no money. You know, everybody was playing guitar, so I could play a little bass, you know, so I started formulating, getting good at it, you know, and so now I got about 4 or 5 bass guitars and big amps and stuff. Well, you know.
Well, it's like a song says, it's about the bass.
It's all about the bass. It's all about the bass.
The bass is the foundation. The drums and the foundation are the drums and the bass are the foundations of music, you know. And how about you? What got you started?
High school, trying to fulfill my rock and roll fantasy of being a rock star. That was bottom line.
That was your dream, huh?
That was it. Yeah.
Wow. So you play guitar and you sing as well, right?
I play guitar and I try to do justice to singing. Not the best singer out there, but
Hey.
if it makes me a little money for gas and a meal and a date, sure.
There you go. You also sing too.
Yeah, I try to do that. I got two songs I like to do. My wife likes me to do Mustang Sally, and I do it really.
Oh, yeah.
I do a little off the cuff because I never sing it the same way twice.
Right.
And when I play with a band, I always tell them this is what I want, the tempo and stuff like that. And they said, "Really?" I said, "Yeah, this is what the tempo I want."
Because that's your style.
That's my
your
style. Even though it's somebody else recorded it, it's me.
Right.
So.
That's singing out of your heart is the best. I mean, whatever you feel, that's you.
It is.
But anyway, and right now you're playing with you play with some bands. I've seen you on Facebook, and social media, playing here and there. In where you played in Bernie, and you played at some other venues as well, right?
Yeah, I play with, I sub a lot, and I have a band I play with right now. It's called the Faith Jacobs Band, and they're out of Bernie, Texas. And of course, I played with you a few times in the Monty Silverados.
Monty and the Texas Silverados.
Yes, I play with you. I play with Carlos. He has a band called, go ahead and say it.
One Night Stand.
One Night Stand.
One night stand. And some people get the wrong impressions when we say one night stand. But it is what it is. And I'm just going to give myself a kudo here. I used to travel with the Platters back in the late 70s. So I got to try to tour with them. About 6 stages I had with them. I learned a lot from working with producers from that show. But music is always going to be in my demeanor. I just really like the facets of how to put music together and make it sound real, and that's what I try to do.
You also you're a veteran too.
Yes,
as well. And I think you told me that you played there for the military.
I played in the military. I played with Tops and Blue. I played with the Band of the West of the Air Force. That's a unit here in San Antonio.
That was Lackland Air Force Base.
Lackland Air Force Base.
And the reason, let me cut you, because I worked at Kelly Air Force Base, and I designed the album covers for the Band of the West. It had the Alamo on it.
Correct.
But anyway, and continuing with your.
Well, anyway, I did that thing with the Tops and Blue. I toured in Texas for most of the Air Force bases they had here. I was playing guitar back in those days, and then when the bass player couldn't make it, and I switched over to the bass. But basically, it was to entertain troops. Like here, Lackland, and any place the week that the Tops and Blue toured. And so when I went to Vietnam, I started a band there called the Shades of Soul. We played for all the military NCO clubs, Airmen's Club, USOs. USO, matter of fact, sponsored us. They gave us all the instruments. They flew instruments in so that we could utilize. It was a spectacular thing to keep the troops on the base. So that's how it went.
We're going to take a short break right now, and then we're going to get to you, Carlos, and ask you some questions on your experience in the music business.
Sounds good.
We'll break for commercial, and we'll be right back.
We all start somewhere. Some of us start with pain. We fall early. We lose early. But getting back up, that's everything. We choose hard roads and walk them anyway. We carry the weight, the silence, the scars no one sees. Coming home ain't always victory. Sometimes it's just survival, but we don't stop. We evolve. We build. Because when you've lived the fight, you fight for others. Battle tested, always ready. Robus Jr. Law.
Con muchos años de experiencia y un equipo experimentado, puedes estar seguro de que sus seres queridos están recibiendo la mejor atención posible en el hogar. Algunos de nuestros servicios consisten en bañarlos, hacer ejercicio con ellos, vestirlos, arreglarlos, ir de paseo con ellos, hacer las compras, ayudarlos con la medicación y mucho más. Para obtener más información sobre nuestros servicios, visite nuestro sitio web www.dogwoodhomehealth.com o llámenos directamente al 956-508-3957 o al 210-265-8911.
Do you need someone with a little swag? But not just swag. Someone who actually cares. Someone you can speak to. Someone who's hungry, motivated, and willing to go that extra mile? If so, he's that guy. The only personal injury attorney you need to know. Robles Jr. Law.
Welcome back to the Monty Show. Like I said, we have two independent musicians from San Antonio, Mr. Charles Jones and Carlos Sandoval. And we're going to continue by asking you your experience in the music business.
Okay, my life is kind of boring. I was not born here in San Antonio. When I did come over here, had nothing to do with music. And eventually, for some reason, I found country to my liking. So I started playing and doing jams in the country scene locally.
I understand that.
And basically, this is where I'm at. I have my own band when nobody else is wanting my services. So I go out and push myself. I do country, but now I'll add in classic rock and blues.
So where are you from originally?
I'm south of the. I was going to say the border. No, but it's south of the Nueces.
South of the border.
South of the Nueces River by the Corpus area, 30 miles west of Corpus, black dirt country. So that's where I'm at. Did I say black dirt country? Yes, I did.
That's okay.
So that's where I'm from. I've been here for over, I say 30 years, probably 40 years or 50. So
you're a songwriter by any chance? Or?
I, as a matter of fact, I don't tell anybody, but I do have maybe, yes and no. I have maybe 5 or 6 original songs. I'll put them out in my show, and I don't tell anybody that they're originals. I just put it out there. But
and then you see if the audience like it, that makes you feel.
Oh yeah, definitely, and hopefully someday. I've been telling myself for the past decade that I should go record them, etc. But I haven't done so.
You should.
Yeah.
What was I going to say? So they're country songs.
Country? Well, no.
A little bit of
my original songs are basically classic rock.
Oh.
That's what they are. I don't have any country originals. I just play country because it pays me and I make a little money.
Gotcha.
But my original songs are basically nice old classic rock songs. So,
oh, that's good.
Yeah.
What about you, Mr. Jones? You write your own songs as well?
Well, I've written some, but I'm a writer. I'm a poet. And I have stuff published, but I'm wondering when I get old, when I get 80 years old, I'm going to sit down one day and put them down on.
What is it, about maybe 20 years from now?
Oh yeah, at least. You know, I'm pushing 77 now. I'm still.
Oh my
doing
God,
rock and roll.
you don't look it.
But I enjoyed writing, and I have volumes of stuff I've written. You know, so I'm just trying to compile it and see what I want to do with them.
Also, I know that you were also a pastor.
Yes, my church is the Christian Harvest Church. I've been ordained since 2011.
Amen.
And I used to work for a transportation company. I won't mention the name, but I used to have people come on and they knew that I was a pastor, and they would wait till the end of where I had to get to my rest point, and we'll have church. You know, so we have church, but people couldn't go to church because they didn't have the means, or they didn't have the dress, or whatever they could go to church. So we have church in the back of the bus, and if I had extra money, which I usually did, I would give them money so they could go eat. So that was my ministry.
And also, you also help the food banks, right?
Yes, I'm with VFW Post 8397, and we just had a food bank the 20th, and we got another one coming up the 28th of June, and we're feeding in the hungry on the south side, on South Cross, East South Cross. And I've also belonged to Soldiers Angels, which we have the military veteran. And sometimes we have 300 cars, 350 cars out there for veterans that are in need of food. And sometimes I am overwhelmed by the number of people, of veterans that are in need of food. It's heart-wrenching to look at that and to understand how the military is like it is. You know, we have hard time supporting our own military people, but I do it because of I have to give something back. Military has been good to me.
Yeah.
Military has been very good to me.
This is your cap right here, right?
Yeah, I kind of like. It makes people
Beautiful.
wonder about what it says, but if you are military minded, you understand what it says. You know, it could have a double meaning if you want to look at it that way, but it's a statement that that we do.
Yeah.
So
I want to thank you for your service, man. You know,
I appreciate that.
and I mean it from the bottom of my heart. Yeah, I'm not a veteran, but I did work for the Air Force for 20 years. You know.
Well,
But
thank you for your service.
Well, thank you. You're welcome. I'll take that.
Okay.
It brought us here.
You're
I'm
right.
just kidding.
You're right. So tell me a little bit about the bass. What kind of bass do you have?
Well, I got some old basses. I got a PBT-40, my first bass I've ever bought, and I got a brand that people don't even hear about anymore. It's called a Rogue, and I got 5 strings, 6 strings, 4 strings. I have Harkey amps. I got Fender amps. I got all kinds of little toys.
Yes.
You know, all bass players got
But
toys.
like I said, it's about the bass. You know.
It is about the bass, but
You know, guys, we're coming into the part that I hate, that I like the least, and it's the conclusion.
yeah.
But you know what? I think we have more to talk about, man. You know, so we're gonna bring you guys back. You guys are welcome to come back and continue on. Because I want to know
appreciate
more
that.
about you guys. You know.
Appreciate that.
And I want to thank you for being out here again.
Yes, sir.
Mr.
Thank
Sergio,
you.
Carlos.
Thank you,
Sandoval.
sir. Pleasure.
And I'd also like to thank the viewing audience out there. Thank you very much for listening and watching the Monty Show exclusive on the Órale Network. God bless you guys out there. Be safe. Adios. Órale.